Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Star FM Townsville Stadium for the QBL matchup between the Townsville Flames and the Cairns Dolphins. I'm Mark Roble, and joined with me tonight in commentary is the legendary Shane Frolling. Welcome, Shane.
Legend in my own lunchbox, but I'll take that, mate. Thank you.
Mate, so tonight's matchup, we see the Flames sitting up high on the ladder. The Dolphins, I think, sitting down at about 11th at the moment, and you would think coming into this game after Townsville had a great victory over them up in Cairns that it should be one-way traffic tonight, but we know that that's not always the way it works.
Cairns Townsville rivalry has always been big. It's been big for a millennium, and I don't see that changing. And Coach Williams is obviously going to be urging his girls to do special things, so we'll see what happens.
So I had a quick chat with both coaches just on the way through this. And, no surprises from the Townsville coach, Coach St. Maurice, that, nothing's going to change as far as he's concerned, as far as game plan is. They'll look to push the ball hard. They'll look to try and play in the open court. They'll trap, they'll press, they'll do all those sorts of things. And, interestingly, speaking to Kerry Williams, the coach of the Dolphins team, he also wants to play up-tempo. So, he thinks that their best chance of not getting beaten up by their press and their traps is by getting the ball in quick and trying to get some quick points. So we should see a little bit of a rat race out there tonight.
Yeah, I don't know if they have the team to do that. Townsville definitely has a team that can fly the floor. A couple of these girls on this team are a bit bigger and slower for Cairns. But if that's his goal, that's fantastic. But can they maintain it for the whole game? I'll be interested to see. For me, I reckon they're going to have to stop the likes of Jade Kennedy and Robin Perkins. Jade Kennedy's been around for a long time. She's a pretty smart player, and if you can slow her down, I reckon that'll go a long way to shutting the Dolphins down.
And look, Kerry singled out Brian, actually, to me before the game. That's the one that he wants to make sure she gets more touches of the ball tonight. She's a good slasher, can get herself to the rim, so he wants her, putting some pressure on this Townsville D, which, trying to get up past their initial bluff and see if they're ready to rotate and do those things.
Listen, for me, the focus for them should really be trying to stop the likes of Darcy Garvin, and you go further down. All the fire development players, the work that's been done with them, you can see that paying off. So, again, it'll be interesting to see if their strategy works.
So we're about to see the tip, and we'll see for Townsville starting tonight. We have Cox and Beck and Goodchild in the backcourt, joined by Fowler and Garvin in the front court. So Lisa Brennan going back to the bench for the start of this game, perhaps just a little niggle off that shoulder pickup she got last week. And for the Dolphins, we see Domkin, Bryant and Perkins, along with Williams and Kennedy starting the game tonight.
Yeah, any team that has Michaela Cox, Darcy Garvin, and of course our newest Australian representative, or not newest, but a couple of times now and just named in the team, Alex Fowler, it's going to be tough to deal with.
And we're underway, and the Dolphins get first possession tonight, and we'll see what they look like in the half court against this aggressive Flames defense. And an early foul picked up there. Michaela Cox just couldn't resist putting her hands in the cookie jar there. Just a little deflection.
Yeah, I'm going to call that soft. That was a rubbish call. First play of the game, that's nothing. Let them play. Let them play.
We'll see if referee Dover keeps up that tempo for the game. If she does, it might be a longish game.
Great defense there. Hands straight up by Darcy Garvin. Come up with possession, and Michaela Cox flies it down the court.
So Williams missing off that deep seal, and then, we see, I think that was Perkins there, get out and deny that early kick ahead. And we'll see the Flames' first possession here now.
Love that cut by Darcy there. She drags two players. Probably could have found Alex Fowler, but Darcy takes the free and nails it.
And look, that's something that Darcy's just continued to work on her game over the years. Particularly at this level, great opportunity for her to get some wide open threes.
Yeah, she's certainly proven that. If you watched her at the university game, she was deadly. Now here's a fall in defence. Great rotation though by
Beck.
And Goodchild brings it down, kicks out to Beckett. Look at this shot, I would think. No. Back to Goodchild, across to Darcy. Here comes some pick and roll action. Expect a score out of this. Tough pass there. Intercepted away from Cox.
Yeah, just a little bit rushed on the bounce pass there, Cox, going into the leg of Williams.
Yeah, no, should have gone over the top, no doubt. No call there, but we'll play on, and Darcy competes for the ball. Townsville ball, baseline.
So a little nervous start here for the Flames. You know, well, for the Dolphins particularly, actually, sorry. They haven't been able to convert yet, and you see the Flames working straight into their familiar action off the flare screen for Cox, unable to connect on that one.
Breakaway here, fumble, that's no score with a fumble there, travel. And Townsville ball on the baseline. Michaela Cox really hedging her defence well there, caused some confusion.
Perkins just getting stuck with the ball in the hand a little bit there, so we'll see the Flames now under control of Cox again. Looking to work off a high post catch from Garvin now. Look for that high-low action to Fowler, but good defence by Domkins just to get her hands up and stop.
Oh, that was actually quite a tough call. I thought Alex Fowler did a good job to get there. A little bit of contact might have forced her out of bounds, but hey, as Townsville will be happy with it.
And Garvin with the elbow catch and turn for two. The Flames will need, the Dolphins will need to do a better job of denying her catches.
Yeah, that's Darcy. No one should be able to compete with her. She's such an elite level athlete, and in this competition, she should dominate.
Missed by Kennedy, yep. And the Flames off and running now. Cox looking to Beck on the wing. And nice attack through the centre of the lane and just float her over the front of the rim, and Kerry Williams wastes no time. We're 2.5 minutes into the game and the Flames leading 7-0. So, you know, your message if you're Kerry right now, Shane?
Keep running. They've had a couple of chances where I've seen Townsville not get back on safety defence. They haven't been clever enough to pick the ball up and kick it ahead. If they kick it ahead, they get some buckets. The other thing I'm probably concentrating is Darcy Garvin. As I said at the start of the game, do not let her catch and shoot at free will. Yes, that may free up some other players, but I'll take the lower percentages other than Darcy and Michaela Cox any day.
And look, it's tough here for Kerry. You know, like he looks at his matchups, and you know Williams just doesn't have the foot speed to be able to compete with either Garvin or Fowler. So you know he's probably going to have to go smaller pretty much straight away. And looking down at their bench, you see Naomi Moak coming into the game. So Naomi, back in her heyday, obviously great competitor and played for the Fire herself through her history, but she'll again be challenged to try and defend these two Townsville bigs right now.
Yeah, and all Townsville have to do, if they would be 11 up by now if they'd have tidied up a couple of those passes. So flipping those things over the top rather than trying to thread the needle. So
we see the Flames, Dolphins ball here, and the Flames set up in their familiar full court press. Come up with the steal straight away.
Darcy without hesitation misses that one, but great boards by Mila Goodchild. Gives them a second chance, out of bounds, Dolphins ball.
And we talk about, you started the game, Shane, talking about the international flavour to the Townsville team. All 5 players on the court right now between Beck and Cox for New Zealand, played at the Commonwealth Games. Garvin's about to go away to Asia with the Opals. Fowler about to go away to Belarus with the Sapphires. And Goodchild named in the Gem squad this week as well.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a deep team. You would expect them to destroy in this game, as they have done throughout the league. It's no wonder they're leading the competition.
So Goodchild, good extra pass, finds Beck open on the weak side wing, and she knocks down her first triple of the night.
Great shot by Becca. I thought she had that shot earlier too, so no hesitation that time, which is good to see.
And the Dolphins looking just a little bit disorganised, and the Flames dropping into a zone here.
Jade Kennedy using her wisdom against Alex. Alex does a great job of keeping her hands straight up. That's a good no call. Young punters out there, it's a great way to play defence. Keep your arms up, be big.
And the Flames with the ball now work out of some reversal and find Cox just little penetration on the wing, catches Donkin not in position, and that'll be the first foul on the Dolphins for the game.
Yeah, Michaela Cox is all class. Ever since I've first met her, I loved her game. She's got time. She just is smart.
So the Flames have this sideline possession, reversing the ball, finding Goodchild open in the corner for two. Long two, toe on the line, but that kicks the Flames ahead 12-2 after 4 minutes.
Yeah, Cairns have got to deal with this press. That's really slowing them down, and that's obviously what Mike wants it to do, because it's going to rush the shot down this end.
And this zone they've found the high post catch, the Dolphins, but Bryant just can't make that jumper. Now the Flames look to push the ball back the other way. Cox pulls up for three, unsuccessful this time.
Pressure clearly giving Cairns trouble. It's very sloppy basketball at the moment. Nice on-ball screen there. Here's an attack. Good hands by Goodchild. And they've called the fumble off Cairns. Townsville ball.
Goodchild just forced the ball down onto the leg there, and here Coach Williams yelling out three from the sideline. So Dolphins dropping back into a zone here. The Flames last week against the Gladstone team did a really effective job working against the zone with a lot of high-low passing out of the high post, but don't get it to that elbow area on the first possession.
Yeah, I don't see Cairns establishing that running game that they wanted to. And obviously the press Townsville's given them caused a lot of that grief. Alex Fowler actually wears that one.
Yeah, just a little bit late on her rotation there, stopping the open layup, obviously, but should be disappointed with not getting in front a little bit first. And then the first subs for the Flames tonight with Ainsley Walsh and Lisa Brennan coming in for Alex Fowler and Mila Goodchild going to the bench.
Yeah, I've got to throw an apology out to Lisa Brennan. I think last game I called her Ellie Brennan for 3/4 of the game until I was corrected that the Ellie Brennan might be a little older than Lisa Brennan, so apologies, Lisa.
And Bryant makes both from the foul line to trim the lead to 8.
Score being 12-4. Townsville has 2 fouls, Cairns 1. Ainsley Walsh to Darcy. Great cut by Cox and a step through, but misses.
Nice little tip from Brennan. Finds Cox and the Flames get another possession. Cox off the shot fake for the 3. Again misses, but the Flames come up with the ball again through a Garvin tip.
If you're watching that Michaela Cox there, she's shooting through the little slump she's having as we get another rebound. No, it's being called against Townsville. So Michaela Cox was being guarded well, throws up a nice shot fake, gets it right up to her forehead, lifts the player, little side dribble, puts it up. Once she breaks that drought, you can expect a little scoring avalanche to happen.
And Beck just called for that foul coming in over the back a little bit, but I'm sure Kerry Williams won't be happy with that 3 or 4 possessions in a row there without being able to come up with the D-board.
Cairns actually broke that press quite well that time, so we'll see if they've figured out what to do there. Fed inside to the post there and power basket. 12-6 is the score. Townsville up 6.
And Dolphins sticking in the zone. Penetration from Beck leads to an open 3 from Walsh in the corner, but there's the miss leads to some run from the Dolphins. Missed by Bryant, but they've come back with the rebound again. Now Donkin misses, and now it's Townsville ball. Sorry, that miss was by Perkins.
Perkins, yep. And athletically got that board. She is an athlete. Now Darcy for 3. Geez, we've got some bricks being thrown up here at the moment, so it might be worth trying to get that ball inside. That was actually a double dribble the refs have missed there, but nice steal by Lisa Brennan. Kicks it ahead to Cox, and she is looking up the floor. Nice back pick by Darcy. In we go. Feed out to the 3. Beck shoots another one. There's another miss, unfortunately. Cairns ball.
And look, while those shots aren't dropping right now, you know, knowing Mike, he won't be completely displeased. He believes in that philosophy of shooting the three if you're open. So they'll just rely on the percentages, and hopefully some will start to fall as the game goes on.
All right, still in this press. Ainsley comes across. Cairns are actually learning how to deal with that thing right now. It's still taking time off the clock, though.
And Fowler and Goodchild come back into the game for Beck and Garvin at that last whistle.
And the referees have a charge there. It might be a little bit of a flop by Lisa, but she was in position. But, yeah, oh well, we'll take that one.
She picked Bryant's little move left, and look, I don't know if Lisa flops deliberately these days, getting a little bit on in years, so there was probably enough contact there to warrant the call.
Great feed into Alex Fowler in the middle. Again, another miss, unfortunately.
Yeah, just can't quite connect. The Flames stuck on this score of 12 at the moment.
Perkins is a hell of an athlete. You know, if she can finish those off, Towns will be under a little more grief. But she's missed a few at the moment, as Williams picks up the foul for trying to rough up Alex Fowler in the paint. Alex Fowler established a great post target, but Williams said, not in my house.
So Flames find Fowler off the inbound. Nice little dive on the weak side from Goodchild, and earns herself a shot to the trip to the foul line.
Absolutely great cut and great find by Ainsley Walsh, drawing the foul on Williams.
That's her second foul for the game, so we'll see her come out and Kennedy re-enter for the Dolphins.
Now, Jade Kennedy's been surprisingly quiet for the first quarter. You know, she's a far better player than what we've seen right now, so I would be expecting her to step up in the next bit too.
And look, the shooting percentages for both teams aren't great reading at the moment. The Dolphins at 22% and the Flames only at 33%.
Mila Goodchild made both of those to take the score to 14-6. Good communication there by Cox. A bit of a switch there, and the bucket counts. Nice post up there by number 22.
Yeah, Bryant did a good job. They came out of the on-ball from the wing. Townsville switched it, and she just rolled Goodchild down, and the good recognition from the Dolphins to get it to the high post and kick it straight back, and now she'll go to the line to try and trim this thing to 5, which she does.
Yep. Score is 14-9.
And the Flames have certainly been slowed down by this zone. They've been forced into shooting some shots which have not gone down for them. And again, Fowler off the high post attack at least this time, going at the rim. Unsuccessful with the layup.
Yeah, I like that play though. I like the 3 play where you're running that swinger across the baseline and getting the post an advantage if they switch out on it. But much like the Boomers last night, they're not enjoying the zone. And if you find something that works, you stick with it.
Look, Brennan finds Fowler underneath the rim there. Back to Brennan. Unsuccessful again from around the rim, and the Dolphins come away with 1 minute to go in this first quarter. Down 5.
Goodchild almost going for that steal there. They're going to have to get their shot up with 6 seconds. 5, 4. And a fumble. They are in trouble here. We should be able to get this board. And that violation called a second early by the referee, but again, we will take it. I think the referee was watching the shot clock rather than listening for the buzzer, but it was clearly not going to be off, so it was the correct call. All right, another play against his own elbow tap. Let's have a look at what we've got. High post, looking at the low cut. Okay, we have a nice baseline post. Darcy missed Alex Fowler there, but we'll take the 3 instead. Nailed by Goodchild.
Yeah, just the look into the post with Fowler there, and we see a steal by the Flames out of their press. Cox gets a steal and for a layup.
Yep, and that now takes us to 19 points versus 9.
And the Dolphins, with 6 seconds left on the clock, missed that shot. The Flames on 3, 2, 1. Cox launches one from halfway, just shy of the rim. And at quarter time, The Townsville Flames lead the Cairns Dolphins 19-9.
Yeah, pretty ugly quarter for my liking. It's Townsville starting to get some offense run against that zone, but geez, if we throw any more bricks up from either team, we could build another 2 stadiums like the one we have next door. It's not been pretty. So I would expect, with as in the last 2 minutes that we've had, that they'll start running it down their throat and trying to get to the rim a little more.
You can see over in the corner, Susie Batkovic just entered the building, so she's just returned from her stint over in France with Montpellier and then a little bit of holidaying afterwards. I caught up with her the other day and she reckons she's now got a couple of months to get back in shape. She reckons she's carrying a bit of weight after that trip and a bit of holidaying in France afterwards.
Look, just looking at her, she doesn't look like she's carrying any weight. And if she's been playing in Europe, I'm sure she has her game honed. And of course, being a senior player, any senior player with half a brain likes to have a bit of a holiday and let that body recover. So from the Fire coaches, I'm probably pretty happy that she's had a holiday because that tells me she's in a good state of mind.
So looking at the stats at quarter time, the Flames have Goodchild leading the scorers with 7 points, Garvin and Beck both with 5 and Cox with 2. But interestingly, no contribution off the bench for the Flames yet, which is unusual for them. While for the Dolphins, Bryant leads for them with 5 points and Perkins and Moak with 2 each. But the shooting percentages we talked a little bit about, so the Dolphins currently 3 of 13 at only 23%, where the Flames, that last little kick ahead, got them to 36% for the game. But, you know, rebound count 12 to 14, nothing really too much in that. I think what I've been probably impressed with for the Flames, you know, they've limited their turnovers. They've only had 3 at quarter time. They've been a little bit guilty over the last month of throwing the ball away a little bit, but they've forced 9 turnovers out of the Dolphins team so far. Yeah,
their press has given the Dolphins a little bit of trouble too. They seem to figure it out, but then Carla Cox takes a great steal for a lap, and they're back underway as we talk. Beck with the ball out high, looking at that baseline sweep again. Nice seal to Alex Fowler. Yes, she has seen it, but we have a foul.
It looked like a 1-3-1 zone that the Dolphins were playing there, and Fowler just did a good job of back sealing that bottom player on the zone. It was a nice pass to get there, ambitious but got there. And now we'll see the Flames with the ball from the baseline.
Nice kick out to Darcy. Cox should be wide open here if she comes off. No, there she is. Money on the baseline. No, another miss from Michaela Cox. Unusual.
The Dolphins come away here looking to try and narrow this lead a little bit after that last minute hurt them in that first quarter.
Bit of a step there, but the new travel rules, there's hardly any reason to call a travel, and there's an easy layup.
Look, great back cut there by Bryant. Goodchild just chased her outside the 3-point line. You know, nice pass by Moak, found her.
Alex Fowler's doing a great job in that posting up. She needs to be rewarded or she's going to get frustrated and stop that.
Another missed 3 by Flames, but they come up with the rebound. And penetration by Cox on the baseline. Again, just a miss. She hasn't quite found her rhythm tonight, and the Dolphins come away with the ball again.
She hasn't. She certainly isn't playing like she did against the Australians in the 3-on-3, where she didn't miss anything, and they won the Kiwis. But we won't be bitter about that.
So missed there by the Dolphins, by Perkins and the Flames. Fowler again, sealing low, but not getting the ball on that early kick. Again, just this little change in zone slowed the Flames down a little bit. They're trying to figure out how to break it down best. Garvin with the elbow catch, unsuccessful.
Look, I think the Flames are passing the ball a bit too quickly out of that stuff. They're not looking at the options unfolding. We've missed Alex once or twice, missed Goodchild on the base cut there, and if they slow it down and look for their options, they will kill that zone.
And Moak just with the turnover, trying to force that ball to Perkins. Flames come the other way, and Goodchild gets stuck underneath the rim with 3 players around her. Kick out finds Garvin at the top of the keyway for 3.
And you know what? That'll beat any zone. Knock your threes down and that'll destroy it.
particularly when it's your 5-man hitting him as well.
Exactly. Press has really given Cairns trouble here. Three goes up from Cairns. No block out at all. Cairns come up with a rebound. Nice penetration. Straight through the middle for 2.
Nice penetration by Bryant there, and that's exactly what Kerry Williams spoke to us about before the game. Flames on the early push back. Fine Goodchild for the missed 3. A very early shot there, and now the Dolphins will get an opportunity to trim the lead with Hutchinson taking control of the ball.
Yeah, Hutchin, another Queensland product. Good to see her playing out there for the Dolphins. And again, not being really dominant at the moment. And away we go, Townsville. Nice kick ahead. This time, Alex is found for the easy 2.
Yeah, just a bit too fast for Moke on that break. But poor transition defense from the Flames.
And Darcy just swatted that thing to what we would call the crap house and out of bounds.
A little bit lucky there for the Flames, 2-on-1, and I think it was Bryant there just forced a shot that probably should have found the short corner player who was wide open.
Yeah, it's actually Perkins there, Mark.
And Perkins? Yeah,
Perkins, I've noticed that she just, doesn't matter who's in front of her, she's going to the hoop and she's forcing it up, and she's missed a zillion of those easy ones.
So timeout here to the Dolphins with the Flames leading 24-13. Now, the Flames have obviously had a little bit of struggles against the zone, the changing of zones as well. So Cairns have played a little bit of 2-3, a little bit of 3-2, and then out in some 1-3-1 stuff. But you'd have to think they're going to be talking right now about pushing the ball early and trying to find Fowler, who's continuously getting herself in a one-on-one seal on the rim early.
Yeah, Alex has been smart and realised that the bigs can't keep up with her. Again, I'm watching the offenses both against the 2-3 on the 1-3-1, and I think they're rushing. They're missing the next cut or the next pass. And if they slow it down and see that, when they overload it or when they shift it against screens, there's always someone open. They've just missed a couple of them, so I would expect Mike would address that.
And the crowd's slowly starting to build here with the early start in Townsville tonight. A lot on this weekend, obviously with the long weekend in Townsville with the Townsville show in town, and a number of people probably taking advantage of that 3-day weekend and getting away. But down on the baseline, Shane, we see the under-16 Queensland North teams looking to, I think, presenting both those teams here tonight before they head off to Nationals on the sunny coast in another week.
Yeah, great opportunity for these kids to represent North Queensland. Hasn't North Queensland had some success over the last 5-10 years? Yeah, Kayla Cox brings it down to Fowler. Sorry about it, Mark, to interrupt. But
no, look, I was just going to comment the girls' team particularly. I think Coach St. Maurice is coaching them, and I know he's optimistic about giving a good showing on the basis that last year they went away and played in Perth with 7 bottom-age kids.
Yeah, always good if you got that bottom age group. That always helps you get a couple of years under your belt. So hopefully they can go away and have great experiences from it as Cairns hit a baseline jump shot to bring the score to 24-18.
A nice 3 there from Hutchinson. So just some good settled play. The Flames rotate the ball through and find Carey open on the wing for her first shot of the night. So she came in at that last time out. Harriet Carey, that is.
That's Harriet, yes. Not quite set with her legs and just missed, but the Careys can certainly shoot.
So Dolphins just trying to find a gap in this Flames D. Nice spin back to the baseline there by Bryant, unsuccessful.
Yeah, Cairns' offense is really spread. 5 out, it's really unusual, but as we feed into Darcy, there's a kick to the wing, and there should be a 3. Easy money. And again, there's that overload, the sweeping baseline. You're going to have something out of that every time.
And look, to be honest, I don't know what Perkins was doing on that last possession. She was defending the strong corner where there was no player that allowed that easy transfer from the Flames to find Walsh open in the other corner.
As they come up with a rebound, another 2 points, bringing the score 27-20 and 4 minutes 40 to go. Nice pass inside. There's that baseline look for Fowler. Easy, all day, every day, post to post. If you bigs aren't looking for each other, you're in trouble. Those guards never pass it into you, so you've got to look after your postmates.
A little deflection there forces the ball out of bounds from the Flames. It'll be Dolphins ball here, and Brennan comes back in for Fowler. And for the Dolphins, we also see, I think that's Baker entering the game for her first minutes for tonight.
Geez, the Dolphins are really spread. No inside presence at all. I guess they're trying for the, there you go, well, the old slash cuts and penetration. So when you get it like that, that's great. But I would like to see some sort of post target, as we've just seen with Darcy. And she gets a foul off Jade Kennedy.
Yeah, look, well, the Dolphins have gone small here, I suppose, when you look at the lineup. Well, they were small a second ago, but we now see Moken Williams coming back into the game. So you'd imagine that's going to have to make them change the style they're playing and develop that post presence.
Yeah, with those ladies, I would be setting a few double screens, which would stop nearly anything in the stadium.
I don't know, I reckon you could get through them still, Frols.
It'd be very difficult. I used to have the joy as we get a steal for Cairns.
And Baker misses.
Another miss.
But comes up with her own board, Baker, and the Dolphins will get another opportunity. Williams gets the low catch against Brennan, unsuccessful, but then a push on Williams, and that's her third foul. So as soon as she comes into the game, it looks like she's going straight back out, with Kennedy coming back into the game now.
And I was referring to those double screens before. I remember in the day setting them with Warwick Giddy or Andrew Vlahoff, and we'd be 3 picket handles across and a double screen. And they're the most effective thing ever if you've got shooters. And a lady like this is a shooter. Whoops.
The Dolphins persisting in this zone and forcing the turnover there. Garvin expecting Brennan to cut back at the rim where she was extending out of the short corner. Missed the big-to-big catch there.
Yeah. Darcy was exactly right. She knew the play, knew where it was going. Lisa was going the wrong way, you know. She chose to go out, but Darcy comes up with a layup out of this steal from Beck. Here's the press again. This is really going to rattle Cairns. They do not like it at all.
And at one stage there, Cairns forcing all 5 players into the backcourt just to get the ball inbound. So the Flames trying to turn the screws a little bit here.
There's that post steal by Jade Kennedy. That would be close to her first basket for the night, so that's an unusually quiet night for her.
It is, yeah, that is her first basket. We see out of the post, kick out from Garbin. Walsh misses the 3. And then Garbin called for the over-the-back foul on Kennedy on the rebounding contest.
Yeah, that was just smart by Jade. She jumped back into her. Darcy should know that she'll probably wear that one, but hey, I can't fault her on the effort. I want my bigs crashing the boards 100% of the time.
And Goodchild comes back in for Walsh for the Flames, and for the Dolphins, Hutchinson comes back in and Donkin goes to the bench.
Full court pressure again. They're not enjoying this at all, and it doesn't seem to be anything they're doing structurally to beat it. It's just go to work man to man. Goodness me, again, missed by Perkins. That's got to be about her 8th miss, I would suggest, in close. I'm sure she's not usually that bad a player, but tonight she's not having a great one. Michaela Cox gets a little piece stripped and it goes out of bounds, but it's Townsville ball.
And the one thing the Dolphins have done with this zone, though, is slowed the Flames down. They haven't been able to play their normal running game. As we see Garbin go baseline on penetration.
That's exactly what I like to see out of Darcy there. Attack that rim hard, nice little reverse layup, and that takes the score 33-24. Jade Kennedy, nice drop over the top, and we get a basket in, and isn't she happy about that? Big smiles all around. The score is 33-26.
And look, the Flames might need to adjust what they're doing on that on ball. That's a couple of times they've been caught out now by the hard hedge and then the roller, you know, that quick kick on, the roller being found. As the Flames come down and Garvin misses a 3 from the corner, but Brennan comes up with the board, finds Cox on the reversal for 3, is good, and the Flames back out to a 10-point margin with 1:30 to go.
There's that steal through the middle again. Out to Cox. Will she shoot another three? Fate, drive to the bucket. There's her shooting percentage going up, making the last 3 buckets. Who cares if you've missed 16 in the first quarter? That's the Shane Hill philosophy. I'm due. Cairns launch a 3 for themselves, and that takes the score to 38-29.
Straight away, Cox pushes the ball hard down the floor, but just a little turnover and then compounded by going straight through Perkins in the back there for a foul.
Yeah, I love the way she pushed that up the floor. 1 or 2 people supporting her running the lanes would have helped, but unfortunately a foul.
And Moat comes to the bench now. Donkin comes back into the game for Cairns for this last minute, trailing by 9.
1 minute to go in the second quarter. Cairns looking to keep this close. Jade Kennedy with a flash up top, going to make a move here without doubt, and up she goes strong with the ball for a miss. Good child fumbles it out of bounds. It will be a Cairns ball. Jade Kennedy needs to take a bigger responsibility in that. She needs to do more of that, and they will drop for her.
Yeah, I think she needs to try and create a bit of presence herself inside. Steal from the Flames on the inbound. Beck just gets in that lane, finds Cox on the run, and 2 points again for the Flames.
But that's Beck's 3rd or 4th steal, so she's really active on defence, and a great pass to McCalla there. Score 40-29 as Cairns try and move that ball around. Here goes Jade Kennedy again with a reaching foul by Lisa Brennan. The foul count's only 3 now for Townsville and 3 for Cairns, so no bonuses. It'll be a baseline ball.
Some positives for Cairns, seeing Kennedy getting the ball again. They're obviously, Brennan's been posted up on a couple of times down there. That's where they're seeing a matchup that they like.
Yeah, absolutely. As I said, Kennedy's got to want to do more of that. Long 3. Townsville rebound the ball. Goodchild's off with 13 seconds to go. Got away with a bit of a travel there. We'll bring it down. 7 seconds. And the shot is put up by Beck, taking the score to 42-29.
And a late shot launched by Bryant from halfway. Just misses, and the Townsville Flames lead at half-time, 42-29. And Shane, your thoughts on that second quarter?
Look, I think Townsville might have shot a little better. They were more patient with their offense. They only won that quarter, I think, by 3 points, if I'm correct.
Correct, yeah. It was a 10-point margin at quarter time. So,
yeah, so that's a bit of a worry. And if the likes of Perkins starts hitting those layups, that would be even less. So I dare say that Mike St. Moritz will go into the change room addressing that zone and, and then try and stop Cairns having a better scoring period like they did in that last quarter, because they certainly scored a lot better.
All right, we're going to take a break here from Star FM Townsville Stadium, and we'll come back and join you just before we come back from halftime. Welcome back to Star FM Townsville Stadium for the second half of the Flames versus the Dolphins, with the Flames leading 42-29 at halftime. For the Flames at halftime, leading scorer Darcy Garvin with 12 points and 6 rebounds. Michaela Cox came to fire late in the second quarter with 9 points, and Beck and Goodchild both with 7, while for the Dolphins, Bryant leads the scorers by a country mile with 15 points, and Moke off the bench with 7 points. And Shane Frolling, you got a chance to have a quick chat to the Townsville staff at halftime. What did they have to say?
Yeah, Mike said they're junking up the zones between the 1-3-1 and the 2-3 has hurt them a little bit. They're going to try and slow it down and look for, especially against the 1-3-1, some post hits for Darcy and the other bigs in there. The other thing he said he was really happy with was his defence and the fact they've kept Perkins so quiet, who's a shooter, so they're going to try and continue that. He wasn't particularly happy, though, that number 22 Bryant had picked up her scoring against them. So, no, he's reasonably happy. He'll fight against that zone and improve.
And look, I got a chance to catch up with Kerry Williams, and look, he said much of a muchness this second half. You know, they don't have the cattle and the speed to be able to go with the Flames team. So you'll continue to see the junked up defenses. You'll continue to see the zone changes. He did talk about, as we'd highlighted, or you'd highlighted, Shane, in the broadcast, about trying to play with the floor a bit more spread. That's their best opportunity to try and get some scores at the rim. But, you know, I think he's got one eye now on tonight and the other eye a little bit on tomorrow already. But we'll see how this third quarter plays out.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised to hear him say at the start he wanted to run against us, because he'd have to be eating or taking something that was making him hallucinate to think that. But
so the Dolphins with first possession here in the second half. Find a middle on-ball screen from Moke for Perkins, and she's unsuccessful. Perkins yet to convert tonight. Now she's 0 from 8.
Yeah, and Nelly got the steal back though. Goodchild was a little bit unawares there, so get out of that dangerous corner, and we pass it back into Michaela Cox. Michaela Cox coming down, head up. She's looking at the play form. Over dribbling the ball at the moment.
The Flames looking a little disorganised in this first possession. They try and find Garvin, but she was double teamed and forced inside by the Flames. Lets the Dolphins come away. Good possession defensively from Brennan, though. The Dolphins come away with possession for a second opportunity, and Donkin on the rim misses.
Yeah, Kerry Williams is playing smart here. He's got them started. It's just a 2-3, but it was a staggered front, and Townsville didn't recognise it.
Goodchild misses with her first 3 for the second half, but Cox comes up with the offensive board. They find Beck open on the wing for another 3. She misses out, but they get the ball off the boards again. Goodchild 4-2 with the putback.
That's the effort, Darcy. She doesn't get the board or the points, but she keeps it alive, and we end up with the points. So great effort. Bigs get to the boards every damn time.
And the Flames almost doubling their offensive rebound count from half time in the first possession.
Absolutely. And that's a great pass there by Michaela Cox. Darcy on the lap. There's the transition we're talking about. But again, going back to Bryant, she's having a blinder today.
And she was the player that Williams singled out before the game, that he wanted her to have a big game. So she's definitely responded to that call.
They've spread the floor out. Here's the isolation with Kennedy. Reach in by Darcy. Yeah, she unfortunately, I have to give her that one. Good call by the referee there. Right across the arm. She doesn't like it, but she's going to have to wear it. It's the hardest thing, teaching your bigs to keep their hands out for the little ones.
And the Dolphins out of the sideline here. Work off the middle on ball. Trapped by the Flames, and they're in a scramble in rotation now, but Dolphins find Donkin, unsuccessful. And now it's Flames ball from the baseline after Perkins misses the putback.
Again, that's a great on-ball screen action, but the guards take too much time mucking around with it. If they move that thing quicker, she gets that layup uncontested. Kayla Cox into the corner. We feed it into Brennan. Kick over to Goodchild, drive, and a foul. Going to the line for 2. Nice drive by Goodchild.
And Moke puts her hand up for that foul. You know, Goodchild just came off that flare screen on the weak side. They got the ball to her. Good penetration and rip through the middle. Now she'll go to the foul line to try and convert her points above 10 for the game.
This is the first, and we've got the score sitting at 46-31. Successful on the second, taking us 47-31 and straight into full court pressure. Worked well for Townsville in the first half, and they're going at it again in the second. Take some time off the clock. Now they have less time to set it up. Yep. Here's the on-ball screen.
Perkins looking to try and find a way to get herself going in this game. Off the on-balls, over and back.
Great seal by Kennedy. It's going up, and again, they like to call that thing early, I think. I'm seeing that called before the buzzer, but could be my eyes. They're not good.
Might be your eyes, and it might be these headphones we've got on where you're just not quite catching it, but I think I did catch the buzzer before that one, so... The Flames come down against this Dolphin zone,
yep,
which has continued to slow them down. Brennan found by Garvin off the baseline penetration, but Dover, the referee, has a foul on Moke, and that's her second quick foul of this quarter.
Yeah, a little too much dribbling against that zone. I'd love to see a couple of quick passes and then punch it inside. Maybe one dribble and kick it on, but we don't want to over-dribble.
So Moke goes to the bench now, and the Flames find Garvin off the inbound, but unsuccessful. But come up with the O board. Cox open for three is good from the top of the keyway again.
Cash, she has got rid of all of those misses, and it is dropping whenever she touches it. Again, classy player. I've always loved her game.
So the Dolphins with the smaller lineup again here, with Moke going back to the bench. Hutchinson launches it for a long two. Unsuccessful, and now the Flames are on the run.
Thought Darcy was going to pull up and shoot that, but instead Cox gives a nice little fake, kicks it out wide. It's going to come out for a drive in the middle too. Easy bucket, and Kerry Williams has seen enough. He's calling a timeout.
And look, it's got to be frustrating for Kerry Williams, to be honest. His team's been in the trenches for good patches of the game, but there was that minute or so patch late in the first quarter, a minute or so patch, you know, late-ish again in the second quarter, and then the start of this third quarter. You know, it's those little runs that's continued intensity from the Flames, which has just created this, you know, 21-point margin now.
Yeah, the score being 52-31, and you know, you can play a zone defense or a junk up a press and start to change the game, but they say defense wins games, but if you're not scoring buckets, you ain't going to win anything. And Cairns right now couldn't hit water if they fell out of a boat.
Yeah, look, you're correct. And you know, looking at the stats, the Dolphins currently shooting at only 31% for the game, while the Flames percentages just continue to climb throughout the game, and it's up to 46% now.
Yeah, Mike would be happy with that. I think, again, the girls just taking their time, figuring out what the defense is doing. They're junking up it a bit. It'll be interesting to see what Kerry comes back with now. Is he going to come back with a 1-3-1 zone? Is he going to come back with a little press himself?
And now the timeout, Magella Carey comes in for her first minutes of the night, as we see Fowler, or Brennan I think it was, go to the bench.
Love the way Goodchild and Cox deny that ball coming in bounds.
Goodchild harassing Donkin the whole way down the court there.
Great screen by Kennedy, wide open, and again, these guards just don't see. You know, that could have been a kick back to Kennedy for a three there, and there's nothing worse than a guard over-dribbling the ball, not finding a player who pops or dives.
The foul call on Carey, just a little bit reactive coming out on that hedge. Dolphins off the sideline, find Perkins coming off that turnout, but again, she's unsuccessful.
She's had more misses than a Mormon, mate. She is missing everything.
Great scrap from the Dolphins there, takes the ball away from Goodchild.
Townsville switching absolutely every screen action, and it's working for them. You know, they're playing the 5-out game with all perimeter screens. We just switch, switch, switch. Nice lob behind. Bryant goes up, gets the bucket and one. She is having the game of her life. Certainly making up for what Perkins is missing.
And foul called on Michaela Cox there. Just couldn't resist a little reach in from the side. Beckett actually done a good job staying straight up, but Cox came in.
Bibby Baker now coming back onto the floor. See if she can change their fortunes, see if she can apply a bit of defence.
Ainsley Walsh coming in for Mila Goodchild on the Flames side. Unsuccessful with that free throw.
Okay, Townsville coming down, ready for the zone offence again. It's just a 2-3 zone. Ainsley Walsh, she had a look at Goodchild. She'd be wide open in that short corner, and there it is, money. You could see that form 2 passes ago.
Good patience from the Flames, found the ball at the high post, and then Garvin just found Kerry wide open in the short corner for her first score of the night.
Now, Cairns have started looking at they're spreading that floor, going 5 out, and they're isolating the backside of the offense, trying to get the lob over the top. That's been a little successful for them. So if you're a Flames player, you probably want to be aware that that's what's going to happen to you.
Yeah, look, Bryant particularly, a couple of times she's read really good cues. She's been overplayed out on the three-point line and just gone straight into that back cut action, and you know, has had a couple of scores in the first half, but now this time earns herself to the line, makes the first.
Yeah, the way they're shooting, I'd stop that denial on the weak side. You know, on the reversal, I'd just let them try and score. Ainsley Walsh cuts the baseline again. Should kick across out to the opposite side. Michaela Cox drive. There's Carey in that spot. Misses this time, but Darcy goes for a great tap rebound. Draws a foul off Kennedy. She will march to the line for 2. Kennedy a little late with that block out, an attempt to keep Darcy off the boards, but Darcy's so strong and well trained at getting there. That's great. And she misses the first, with the score being a 20-point difference, 54-34. Never missed 2 in a row.
She
never missed 2 in a row.
Makes the second, and substitution for the Dolphins with Perkins coming to the bench on what's been a very disappointing night for her so far, and Donkin back in, and the Flames continue with this full court pressure, causing all sorts of headaches for the Dolphins, but they get through it and compose themselves. Now Bryant looks to go on the attack after the switch on the on ball, and Magella Carey could just not stay in front of her there, and she's really keeping this Dolphins team, you know, putting them on her back right now and trying to keep them in this game.
Yeah, Bryant's a blessing. You know, as I said, you know, Perkins unfortunately missing a few, but you have those games, so Bryant's making up for it. And there's probably been such a focus on Perkins that it has opened up a bit more for Bryant. So, yeah.
So Bryant now with 22 out of the Dolphins' 36 points. And earning a shoe polish from her coach.
Coach has given the shoes a clean. There you go. I don't ever recall having to do that before.
I don't think I would ever see you agreeing to do that either.
But Kerry, the ever so nice gentleman, obliges. And Jade takes a powerful rebound.
Look, probably the one thing that's disappointed so far, Brian. She's missed a couple of free throws in the last couple of minutes, which you know, could have just made this game even better the way she's played.
Baker with a skip pass across. There's a nice fake. And another shot clock violation. They clearly are trying to work the ball around, but that's about the 4th shot clock violation for the game. So the game awareness needs to pick up a little. Big zone here by Cairns. So we bring the ball down. Michaela off to one side. We've got that sweeping baseline cutter. Feed into Darcy. If she looks to the weak side, we'll have a wide open shot. And the shot goes up. Good board by Beckett. And no call. Beck, great board. Got the rebound. Didn't get the call. Michaela Cox will now pass it again to Beck, who drives. Now the foul is called.
Yeah, patience again out of those rebounds, and the foul called there on Kennedy on the baseline. She's not exactly happy with that call, but good aggressive play by Beck. Just put the pressure on the referees. Kennedy now comes to the bench and Williams comes into the game. And we see Vanderjagt for Townsville spending her first minutes on the court tonight, with Garvin coming to the bench.
Nice screen by Vanderjagt. Gets Alex Fowler wide open, who misses, and Cairns come up. They're pushing the ball down the floor. There's that transition thing. We've got to have better safety by Townsville, because a good team will nail that. And I've seen it about 5 or 6 times tonight.
Yeah, look, I think out of that out of bounds baseline, the two guards split to the corner and Fowler was the highest person on the court taking the shot. No one got back to any sort of safety position, and that led to that break. Thankfully, they dodged a bullet, and we see Vanderjagt with her first shot, missed from the elbow area.
That was a good post up. That's a shot to take, you know. If they'll drop, we'll get them going. We see Beck has the job on Bryant. Nice penetration by Baker. Ends up in a turnover though, fumbling it out of bounds.
Williams did a good job clearing space down the keyway there for the driving lane to appear, but you know, probably should have taken the shot herself instead of trying to dish that pass off. And we see the Flames' Goodchild coming back into the game.
Yeah, given Michaela a rest, she probably deserves that. Nice kick on by Walsh. There's the base pass. Down in the corner, Walsh drives, kicks out to Vanderjagt. Goodchild penetrates, nice look inside the foul. The pass didn't come off, unfortunately.
The steal from Sarah Hurd made her way onto the court as well for the Dolphins for her first minutes. And then Williams called for her 4th foul. Again, stopped short on Stella Beck running through the lane and sent Beck flying. But she'll come to the bench now.
That was a fair tackle. It was no head-high tackle or anything. She certainly dropped. But again, you want your bigs to make their presence felt. So, hey, if you can get away with it, not get the foul, why not?
Referee just explained to Kerry Williams there that she just shifted up and left at the last minute, which is why that foul was called. The Flames patiently working against this zone. Fowler makes a little dribble move out of the corner, out of the short corner. Unsuccessful, and things have just dried up for Townsville a little bit over the last 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think their ball movement's just a little slow now. I know I've been telling them to slow it down, but it's gone the other way, a little slow. And Mike is smartly, as we get a steal for Ainsley, kicks ahead to Fowler, who should make the lap. That's a foul, not called. Rebound by Ainsley Walsh. We kick it out to Goodchild for 3. And off again, another board for Walsh. Beck steadies the ship, kicks it out to Walsh, back to Beck. Look inside if she has it. Unfortunately, a fumble there.
The referees deciding to suck on their whistles a little bit in that last possession. A lot of contact flying around with no calls made. As we see the Dolphins come back down the other way. And Donkin just a little off balance, taking the extra step, getting a travel. And it'll be the Flames ball with a minute to go in this third quarter, leading 55-36.
Probably a bump there too, but if it's going to be consistent, you can live with that. That's great.
Donkin pressuring Beck into nearly a turnover there. Walsh finding, trying to find Goodchild on a little dive to the rim, but Goodchild just fumbling that ball over the baseline. It'll be Dolphins ball. Brennan coming back in for the Flames, replacing Fowler.
Yeah, it's just finding the right player. Rebecca Vanderjagt was a player open there and forcing a few passes. But, you know, Mike's clearly given the better players of the team a rest for the last quarter. So you expect mistakes to happen, and that's good for these girls to learn. You know, they'll clearly watch a video and Mike will go, hey, you've missed that pass there, or you've missed that opportunity, or you've rushed, and that's what these games are great for, learning opportunities when you can get your bench players some good minutes. We're sitting here with the score at 55-36 and 52 seconds ago in the third. Cairns bringing the ball up the floor, looking to get another attack on the rim. All the Fire players collapse. Move the ball around. Baker drives hard. obviously looking for the kick. There's a three, unsuccessful. And Lisa Brennan knocks it out of bounds, and hasn't she got a smile on her face?
Nice offensive board there originally from Hurd. Just couldn't quite come up with possession. Now the ball's inbounded to her from the Dolphins.
See if Perkins can get her first bucket for the game as she shoots. And the referees give her a foul on that one.
So she'll now make her way to the line, hoping to get her first score registered for the evening. Substitutions for Cairns. Moke coming back into the game again, and also joined by Downing for her first minutes of the game.
First bucket is successful. We're at 55 to 37. And a miss on the second, but the offensive board contested. It will be a Townsville ball with 22 seconds to go. We should not see any more shots other than Townsville's.
Good job with control of the ball here and running the point for the Flames. This zone set again for Cairns, which we've become all familiar with tonight, seeing them sitting in these zones. Vanderjagt finds Beck, who then, off penetration, finds Walsh on the weak side. Unsuccessful with the shot, and that's three-quarter time with Townsville Flames leading 55 to 37 here at Star FM Stadium in Townsville.
You couldn't ask for better than that. You know, a shot with 3 seconds to go wasn't successful, but Cairns don't get the chance to score, and we're sitting at 55-37 coming into the last quarter. Look, again, I think Townsville started to figure out their zone offense against the defense. Cairns are still not very successful from the field, and I would expect Mike to give another spurt of pressure defense to put a nail in this coffin.
So if we just do a quick round, the other games going on in the QBL tonight, the Rockhampton Cyclones leading the Gladstone Power 74 to 66 with 9 minutes to go in that game. We have the North Gold Coast Seahawks with a minute to go in the game over the Gold Coast Rollers. So the Gold Coast clash down there. The Seahawks looking to take out that one, leading 81 to 66. And the Southern District Spartans leading the Rip City team from the Sunshine Coast 62 to 42 with 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. And here for the Flames leading 55 to 37 over the Dolphins, we have for the Flames leading scorer is still Darcy Garvin with 14 points, Michaela Cox with 10, and Michaela Cox with 12, Mila Goodchild with 10. While for the Cairns Dolphins, it's all been one person. It's been Bryant with 22 points on 18 shots at the moment, but you know, she's the only one sort of putting some output out there, so you don't mind a player taking that many shots when they're playing as well as they are.
And they're on fire, let them go. Interesting, it'd be interesting to see. What's our offensive board count now?
It went from 4 at halftime to 12 at three-quarter time. So
amazing thing when players concentrate on getting to those boards. It's very interesting watching Mike talk to the players, still very intense and pressuring up. And then I saw the husband-wife team of the Duros, Julia really explaining some stuff to Timmy. I think we know who runs that show.
So the Flames with first possession in this last quarter, and the Dolphins coming out in a man, probably trying to shock up a turnover or two out of the Flames here. Cox comes off the on-ball and unsuccessful. And now the leak out from the Dolphins.
And there's Perkins' first field basket for the night. She's broken the seal. Good child with a nice fake and puts it right back on, and we might see a bit of a running game in this last quarter. 57-39.
Look, if the Dolphins decide to play a man here, this could be a little bit more action and a lot more run in this last quarter, but we'll see if it persists.
Switching everything again and got herself into a bit of trouble here. Nice pass by Brennan. Good child with her second layup in a row.
Yeah, look, nice steal off the double team there. Brennan got it, and then great awareness just to throw the ball out in front of Goodchild instead of trying to pass it to her. And Goodchild with the unopposed layup.
Goodchild moves so easily across the court on defence. It's great to watch a good defender.
The Dolphins looking to work out this switch in the on-ball. Great double team on the rotation there by Cox. Forced the shot by Bryant to be a little bit short. Now we see the Flames on the run. Goodchild looking for another layup. 6-0 run to herself right now, and the Flames taking control of this game, 61-39.
And again, up into the action with that press. When you're that guard up the front of the press, you'll be thinking buckets. So we're looking at a 7-second shot clock. I don't know that she's quite aware of it. 4 seconds. She's going to have to throw it up. And again, over dribbles the ball. Again, you get screens set for you. You've got to have your head up. You've got to find other players if you don't have the opportunity. Drives me crazy. That's the first thing I do when I coach players is look the score, look for your teammates. Another shot clock violation. And
timeout called here by Coach Kerry Williams after that dynamic start to the quarter by the Flames. Now, I suppose question for you here, Shane. You know, you're down 22. You know, you've got a game tomorrow against Mackay. Someone like Perkins, who hasn't had a great game tonight, do you put the cue in the rack and put her to the bench and sort of say, you know, it's not your night, get yourself some rest and we expect more tomorrow? Or do you leave her out there to try and get a little bit of touch in these last quarter? Yeah, I think you answer that from my perspective with a cue in the rack. It's something I'd never do. I hate watching games where people walk it up, wind it down. If a player's not playing well, I want to get her going in that last quarter so she takes that good form into tomorrow night's game. I don't want her thinking all night, geez, I've had a crappy game, and then taking that into the game. If I can get her going, I'm going to punch it at her. Yeah, okay, and look, it's a very well worth merit attitude towards taking, and you know, you're probably off that then. The challenge then from Kerry Williams is to her, look, let's get her some touches, let's get her attacking, let's work off the on-ball a little bit harder, trying to get herself going. Yeah, absolutely. Some clear outs and put her in situations where she's going to have easy buckets. Townsville bringing the ball down, feed into Darcy, the zone collapsing around her. Lisa fumbles the ball but drives and draws a foul. Foul called on Moak there, and Brennan will go to the line for 2 here. Brennan and Moak, in their former surnames of Pedro and Braunberger, play plenty of basketball together as North Queensland juniors coming up through the ranks. Would have played together at lots of nationals, both spent some time with the Fire together. So it's interesting to see them matching up against each other in their more twilight years of their careers. Yeah, it is. It's great to see players with history and a bit of a smile and competitive edge. Michaela Cox pressures the ball up the floor. Lisa Brennan switches the on ball, and this time she's found the player wide open, and lo and behold, a bucket results. That makes me a happy coach when I'm coaching. And ball pushed back aggressively by Townsville. Garvin likes the one-on-one matchup down low, but comes up unsuccessful and then travels off the fumble. I think that left her hand and was blocked, so unfortunate to get that travel, but the referee clearly didn't have the view I had, or the eyes I had. So it's unfortunate for Darcy there. Again, Townsville right now, I think you see all the players against the zone take a dribble first, pass through that thing, look for your penetration, don't over dribble it. And the Dolphins now with the ball. Lisa Brennan called for the foul, up being very aggressive up on the ball with Sarah Hurd up high on the court. The substitution coming for Townsville with Beck coming in and Michaela Cox coming back to the bench to have a little bit more rest. We have the score at 61-41, a 20-point lead for the Flames. Maybe Coach St. Maurice looking to get a little bit of rest for Michaela Cox for what's going to be a nightmarish next month for the Flames when you know, Garbin, Fowler and Beck all disappear for a couple of weeks on international duties. So they really need to make sure they look after this win tonight and next week as well, going into that stretch where they'll have some players missing. Great pickup by Carey on a long pass by Brennan, but
Result, out of bounds eventually anyway. Townsville straight up the floor, pressuring the heck out of it. Bench players are going, hey, we're in, but we're not going to back down, and we get the steal. Beck again, pressuring enough to get us the ball back. So, you know, the things that go unnoticed, you watch Beck come up with teams turning it over. That's effort plays. They're the other things the coach loves.
And 6 minutes 50 to go in this thing. The Flames leading by 20. Garvin goes to work down the low block. She had Hutchinson matched up on her, and Kennedy comes over to try and help, but the foul by Hutchinson will send Garvin to the line for 2.
Yeah, that was a great look by Brendan, seeing that Darcy on the weak side kick back there, and I'm glad it was a pass, because I was going to say it's a very flat shot. As Darcy takes care of the first basket, giving us a score of 62-41.
And makes the second. And Brennan comes to the bench now with Magella Carey coming in to spend some more time on the court. Presumably she's going to spend some more time on the court over this next month.
Yeah, absolutely.
Another great deflection by Beck leads to the last touch coming off Bryant, and it'll be Flames ball, up 22.
Yeah, Beck's been working well, working really well. Now she's controlling the point. Darcy gives her a nice screen. Penetration, that's a Darcy shot. No, she gives it on the good child. Kicks out to Carey. Nice drive here by Carey, and a fake. Unfortunately passes into the hands of a Cairns player, but was doing the right thing looking for Darcy. Cairns move the ball for a 3, misses, and off Beck goes. Now setting the offense up again.
It's just Dumpkin unable to resist a little slap at the ball there on Carey. And it'll be Townsville ball from the side here with Darcy Garvin coming to the bench now, and Alex Fowler coming back in.
Yeah, 6 minutes ago, Mike's gone, okay, we're going to give all the bench players a go. So I expect a few turnovers here, but again, doesn't stop effort being a bench player. Carey launches a 3, and it's good. Harriet Carey. Score 66-41. Cairns bringing the ball up the floor, looking for a reply.
The Dolphins looking to work out this wing on ball again here. Again, whenever they move the ball on quickly out of that on ball, good things happen for them, and they can find that roller, but they just haven't done that well enough consistently tonight.
No, and you know, I've harped on enough about it, but it's a good lesson for the young players. You come off that thing, you're looking to score, but you've also got to have in your mind, great ball handlers have in their mind that if I can't score off a screen action, we've caused someone grief. There will be an option somewhere else.
Dolphins ball out of the baseline here. We see Moak looking to attack Magella Carey. Nice little spin move back to the baseline, unsuccessful. And Fowler just rushed that outlet pass a little bit. Perkins again just unsuccessful on the drive off good D from Fowler, staying straight upright there.
Yeah, Perkins doesn't like that pressure on the layup. So great for Fowler to be back there. We're setting up the offense again into the post feed. Carey for another 3. Boom! Harriet, 2 threes in this quarter since she's been earning her minutes.
And look, they actually ran that play for her then. It was a deliberate feed to the high post away from her so that her D would suck in to help and found her wide open on the perimeter.
There's that isolation play to the weak side again, and a correct call. Townsville ball on the baseline with a fumble there. Yeah, that elbow play that they run definitely has the 2 bigs high, and they are looking at that player flaring wide. So, again, good patience and well done by the bench players, getting some value out there.
Beck controlling the play out of the point again here. It's a little bit loose with the ball.
Nice cut by
Magella Carey
Fowler.
finding Fowler on the dive. Unsuccessful under pressure on the finish, but the Flames come back with another rebound. Beck on the cut to the rim, finishes the 2, And this thing now out to 30 points with the Townsville Flames leading 71-41.
Yeah, Fowler does a great job of establishing herself. She probably got a little deep under the backboard. If she stopped earlier, she'd have a much easier shot as she's playing defense right now on Williams. Steals it from Williams, kicks it ahead, and now Alex is running the middle. She might get a little look here. No, Williams pushes her out the way. Carey has the ball out the top as we reverse it through Beck. Beck will now cut. On-ball screen, roll to the bucket. Very nicely played. That was an unfortunate foul there too. It was close, but again, there's that beautiful screen and roll action.
Yeah, look, thought that was pretty clean on the ball, to be honest, there by Duncan, but yeah, the Flames did exactly there where they've been caught out a couple of times themselves when Cairns have done it. Out of that wing on ball, just a quick move on, move that ball on, then find the roller coming back down. And Magella Carey now steps to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, you could see if Carey rolled in that lane, she was going to get that ball all day, every day. It was like a storybook. And a great pass and result, 2 shots, with the score being 71-31.
Makes the second.
72-41.
Makes the second, and now the Dolphins, you know, they're getting no rest from this extended pressure from the Flames.
Mike is definitely putting the heat on them, as any coach should. You know, as you said, you're going to have a lot of players missing, so these guys need to get their games ready too.
Moke misses the 3, Fowler with the rebound. And the Flames looking to extend quickly here, find Vanderjagt running the middle lane.
I would have liked to have seen Rebecca Vanderjagt take that to the rim, but we'll take the 3 off Alex Fowler. Isn't the bench happy? She clearly is not the most regular 3-point shooter.
Look, it's something that she's been working on her game, trying to, you know, bring that as another piece. She knows when it gets to the international level, she needs to have that as part of her game, and she'll hopefully be able to bring that to the Sapphires in Belarus.
Yeah, as you see, Vanderjagt out-muscle Moke for the ball there. And unfortunately, we missed the layup down the other end. Cairns have an advantage here if they push it, but they choose to slow it down.
Baker finds Bryan, who launches the mid-range 2. Shot misses, and it's Flames ball from the baseline. We see Shayna Pacey come in for her first minutes of the night. So all the Flames girls have got themselves onto the court now, with Shayna getting her first minutes in this last couple for the game.
Wouldn't it be good to see the team get her a bucket? Or she'll steal it and get a bucket.
She got her first QBL score last weekend, so she'll come in here confident, hopefully trying to get another one.
That is the most dangerous pass in basketball, that long cross court, but she now penetrates, goes in for the drive, sprays it up, unfortunately doesn't drop, and Cairns come away with it.
Now Mo cross-court pass to Bryant. Now Baker with the ball up out of the high on ball again. Again, just hesitating with moving that ball on. Slows things down, and Townsville allowed to re-establish.
Ainsley Walsh overruns the ball there, but great effort play gets it back for her. Rebecca Vanderjagt, heck of a pass. Just unfortunately, young Carey misses it. Or I should say the older Carey sister. Williams goes up and gets fouled by Alex Fowler.
And so a minute 19 to go here. Williams will go to the line. Flames up by 34. Substitutions coming in for Cairns, with Perkins and Bryant both coming to the bench. That'll be them done for the night, with Downing and Hurd coming back in for this last minute.
And again, Alex got that foul. It was with body. She did a great job of keeping her hands straight up. And young punters, if you can do that, that'll reduce your foul count.
Williams misses the first, and so Shane, tomorrow night the Cairns girls go down to Mackay. You know, similar game plan you would think, trying to play some junky defenses, trying to throw Mackay out of their balance, and that's, you know, probably honestly it's the game that Kerry Williams would have thought they might be able to go and steal this weekend.
Yeah, that's smart coaching. He's coached really well tonight. It's just their percentages have really let the team down. If they increase their shooting percentage tomorrow, they have that chance. So, you know, He's not a silly man, and you know, they could pinch it. I don't see it, to be honest, but you got to go in with a game plan. As Williams makes a bucket, just powers her way to the ring, which is exactly what she should be doing. Ainsley Walsh brings the ball down, passes through Vanderjack, kicks out. Walsh for three is unsuccessful. Be nice to get Pacey a shot in this last 45 seconds. Baker brings the ball down. We've got a big target in Williams inside. They kick it out through Moak. Where's Williams? That's the post up you want, but Pacey steals it, kicks it ahead to Walsh, who fakes, misses the bucket. Great pass ahead by Casey there, and Carey gets the foul. Cairns won't walk up the other end. They'll take it out on the baseline.
So 25 seconds left in the game, and the Dolphins will have their last shot of the game here, and perhaps the Flames might get one more.
Pacey pressing up the floor. Let's see if she can get a steal here. Pressure that ball and get a layup. Definitely got good ball pressure. We kick it across to Moak. Gets a shot up, 10 seconds to go. That's a miss. All right, Townsville will get one off with 6 seconds to go. Pushing it down the floor, Carey. Kicks it out to Fowler. Over to Walsh, who is definitely going away, to Vanderjack, who unfortunately misses, makes the bucket. And we finish with a final score, 75-44. Townsville winning easily. And Mark will obviously have some stats here for us.
And for the Flames, tied at the top of the point scorers, Darcy Garvin and Mila Goodchild with 16 points each. Darcy with 7 boards and 3 assists to go along with that, while Goodchild had 6 rebounds and 2 assists to go along with that. Beck also with 11 points, 4 assists, 4 boards and 4 steals. So her activity on the defensive end was really key to the victory, while Cox finished with 12 points for the game. For the Dolphins, as we've talked about the whole game, it was Bryant's show only really tonight, with her finishing with 22 points, 6 rebounds, with Naomi Moak coming off the bench, second highest scorer for them tonight with 9 points. And the Flames continue this run, and now will head down to Mackay next weekend themselves, looking to seal up that season series against Mackay after a big win against them here in round 2. And that'll be the last game they'll have before a couple of their players disappear on international duties.
Yeah, it's that's been a luxury for Mike to run that bench, start getting them ready to go. And why wouldn't you? You've got to prepare for that. As for Cairns, yeah, Bryant, well, wasn't she a machine? And if it takes getting her shoes polished, hey, I'm getting someone to polish those shoes if she can drop those numbers for me every week. Just
a quick check-in on other games going around tonight. So full-time down in the Gold Coast battle, the Seahawks took the win there, 83-66. The Brisbane Spartans leading with 2 minutes to go over the Rip City team, 89-67. And those wanting to quickly tune in the last 30 seconds in Gladstone, the Rockhampton Cyclones leading by 2, 95-93.